Oh man, this is cool because I get to kind of pick her brain in a way that
we've always been that way. We've been that way from the bangs. I'm telling you.
I was just gonna say, what was your first reaction to me? She just said, "Them bangs." She already gave me the answer.
That's what it was. We all said it. Look at this kid. This kid coming in with these bangs. She wants to play with us. This is what we thought when you came in.
The bangs.
The bangs. What's she about to do?
It was a great awning, though. Like, the rain would come, wouldn't even hit my eyes, nothing. It's like having a brim, like a hat. Them bangs. I got rid of them. It took me, they were gone by year 2.
It had to be. It had to be. You're changing. You were changing.
You know what? I earned friends that told me the truth. Them bangs got to go.
A whole lot about us had to go, too. It wasn't just you, buddy. It was us. All of us. We love the bangs. Come on.
Man.
We love the bangs. All I cared about is you doing that bang.
Yeah, that bang.
That's all I cared about. That's it.
I remember one time she came and asked me, she's like, where do you want the ball? I was like, right where you're putting it every time, right here in this pocket. Bam.
Well, that was important to me. Okay. I wanted to know exactly where you wanted and how quickly you could get it off. And it didn't take much. Becky, it didn't take much. All you needed was just a little bit of time. And if someone stepped off, didn't matter how tall you were, what your length was, it did not matter. If you didn't have that hand up, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to get the assist, so, I was good with that.
I ain't missing out on this one.
I was good with that. I'm coming to you. First of all, I love you. I loved you from day one. I loved your desire, your strength, your fire, your will and your want to. And you wanted to show people that you belong. And that's something that you showed me, because I made sure every day I walked in, she's going to show me that she's in my foxhole. Mm-hmm. Every day I came in, I'm coming at you, and you know I did. I came after you every day. VJ, we both came at you every freaking day. But there was something about you that we loved so much that the last fall, we both looked at each other and said, that's it. Don't touch her no more. Won't nobody else touch her again. When you got up off that floor, it's like, man, that's us. That's our family. I loved you from day one. No matter what you say about how many times I knocked your ass over, I knew who you were. Yeah. You showed me every day.
I think, though, the tough love, first of all, we're in New York.
Yeah.
You guys had an established team, and, they had no intentions of keeping me. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And that had nothing to do with you. That's just organizational.
That's right.
But you guys practiced just as hard as you played in games.
Yeah.
And I think for me, as somebody coming in, who had to get better, it wasn't just about making the team. I needed to get better and keep growing. And I think what I appreciate is, you remember we had a couple other players in there who were getting hit, and they snap back up and start talking. I was like, girl, don't say anything. Just take it. Just take
going
it.
Down harder.
Just take it. Yeah, they're gonna come harder. And it did. And I think there's I almost looked at it just as like, I knew my place. And I knew my place had to be earned. Yeah. And I was okay with earning it. Yeah. I'll come in, but there was definitely a point where it was like, all right, you guys were done. Yeah. She's tough enough. We're rolling with her. And that made all the difference in the world too. I just think with our chemistry, because it wasn't like we had all the talent, right? Mm-hmm. There was a lot of talented teams. Yeah. Our chemistry was a separation factor, and it kind of always has been because of that. Really, the culture that you, VJ, Sue Wicks was a great teammate. Yeah. Kim Hampton, Rebecca. It felt like family for sure.
And that's key. And for everybody to know this too, Becky, that every day after practice, we went 4 hard hours.
Yes.
4 hard hours. We're like, what the heck are we doing 4 hours in here? But we're going 4 hard hours.
Yeah.
But nobody knew what was happening behind those closed doors of you back on the floor doing more work to prepare yourself to stay in the line with us. Yeah. You were doing more work after. So when I saw you doing more work, I said, heck, I'm staying in with her. Mm-hmm. I'm going to work with her because she wants it that bad.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that.
Yeah.
I recognized it. That says a lot about who you are, what you wanted, and you wanted to be there. You wanted to show us all I belong. This is home.
This is my dream.
This is it.
I remember putting that jersey on with y'all.
Yeah.
In Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
It's
Speak about it, Beck.
It's crazy. And at that time, we're selling out the Garden.
Yes.
We're selling out the Garden. This girl she got the whole city on fire. The energy was just amazing, contagious, really special time to me in women's basketball. And when you start looking at the growth, and all these people, you know, and now we have people like your player, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark, and even my player, Kate Martin, like this push, but there's been so many seeds and foundations laid beforehand that have kind of made this all possible. And you know, there was a time where the W was really cool. And then it kind of took a dip for a while. It became cool to bash women and not support women. And then all of a sudden now it's unacceptable again to disregard or not value women in the work that they put in. And I really love the tide turning, but you have these moments that are kind of tipping points, right? And tipping points in society, what you don't understand in people that are new to the game is that somebody's been filling up that pitcher for a long time.
That's right, Beck.
And setting it up. And so now when the Caitlin Clarks and the Angel Reeses and the Cameron Brinks and, you know, Rakia Jackson, all these younger, and there's more coming.
That's right.
There's more coming. I mean, some of these younger underclassmen, Paige, Juju, like Hidalgo from Notre Dame, I mean, they're coming. But somebody has been filling this cup when no one was looking or watching.
That's it.
And now you get the tipping effect. And that has been cool, not only to be a part of as a player and as a fan and as a spectator when we stepped away, but also now we're back in it, and to get to see it pour over.
It's pouring over. It's pouring over. You can't forget who was filling that picture up. And sometimes I think, Becky, where I kind of have a problem with that is that you lose sight of those who poured their heart and soul into it for the next generation to have.
Correct.
And I think sometimes it's overlooked. And then that's where some players feel like, oh, there's a level of disrespect, because I worked my butt off for it too. But it can never be forgotten, ever be forgotten of that foundation that's been laid for the next generation to come.
And I don't care if the whole thing, whatever walk of life you're coming from, or organization you're building, or the business you're building, you better know your history. You need to know your history. What do they say? Otherwise, it's bound to repeat itself.
It's bound to repeat.
So know your history, know the ones that came before. And honestly, I got to say this younger generation, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, I think they've been very vocal about recognizing the greatness that came before them. And I give them a lot of credit for that. It's pretty cool to be self-aware like that. Like, oh man, a lot of people put in time, not only in my inner circle, right, like the coaches and your teammates and high school coaches and AAU people and your family who have dumped all this time into you. There was people laying the groundwork for you that never even knew your name, never even knew you existed.
Exactly.
But you just went about your work every day.
That's well said.
Every day.
That's well said right there.
And
well said.
It's been cool to see a part.
It's excellent to see a part of it. And it's going to continue to grow back. Like you said, all these other names who are coming, this thing is going to be even better.
They can ball.
It's going to be better.
They can hoop.
I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to play against them.
And I think, too, as you...
No, I'm done.
I'm good. I can show you how. I don't want to
That's it. I'm done.
On a board. I don't want to get out there on the court and show you how anymore. But this skill set, you know, and I think that's the other thing that really is super cool, because the involvement of the game, the difference of how people are playing it in today's, and if you look at it, people will be like, the scoring, like all these scoring records, all this stuff, this is going to get blown out the water because of the style of play has switched, and also just I was lucky because you guys were professional. Like, you took care of your bodies year round. Like, those were the examples. But I feel like it's another level for these ladies because they have the tools.
Much more than we did.
Much more than we did. I mean, we were still going to like the local fitness center to get a lift in.
That's it.
I mean, and we went and we did our work. But it was, they just have more access and more at their fingertips than, gosh,
way more
we ever
resources
did.
Than what we had. And they're utilizing them. You know, we keep their bodies going as much as they possibly can. But you know, Becky, sometimes it just depends on you too. You're not going to always be around. Say after season, what are you doing? What is the work that you're putting in? And some of these kids, they have people that they work with, but who are you working with? Are they putting you through the things you need for this team, or are they just putting you through? What is it that you're doing that's necessary to be ready to play for the team and what you play for?
For sure.
So it's some big stuff.
And I think that's, you know, coming from the NBA. A lot of times there's too many chefs in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
This guy got his workout guy, this guy has this workout guy, and it's really hard to create culture when you have different voices in your athletes' ears all the time.
Yeah.
And I think one thing I know I appreciate about my squad is just we have a practice facility now that we have a player development guy. Like, that's kind of unheard of in the W.
Yeah.
And to continue to raise that bar of this is the standard, and if you want to, you got to get with it to keep up. And so these practice facilities, all these little things that you can keep a player now here. They don't have to go overseas because they can make money, the exposure, but then they can get better.
Yeah.
You know, because of the development piece. And I know you were in development with New Orleans.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I enjoyed it so much because I felt like at that time the player development piece was the most important thing. I was trying to kind of sharpen up the skill to be able to play in the X and O.
Sure.
So the player development was probably the most important thing for me to be a part of. I learned so much by just the guys themselves, you know, just learning so much from them.
For sure.
You learn so much from them. You know, you got to allow them to use their voice. Let me hear what you know. Let me see how I can guide you to even be better.
Sure.
But I learned so much just from listening to them.
Yes.
And it kept me being innovative and creative.
Sure.
Because of the things that they would say and do.
Yeah.
I loved every minute of that player development. Loved every second of it. Every second. And that has prepared me for this. Prepared me for this.
There's no doubt, because your player development in pro sports, it's really like recruiting in college. It's your bloodline.
Yes.
It's your bloodline. And I think especially, you know, teams that may be playing smaller markets. You're not in a small market. I'm not in a small market. But when you talk about the NBA, New Orleans would be a small market.
Absolutely.
You have to keep, retain, and improve the talent that you bring in. And that's tough to do.
It's very hard.
That's tough to do.
It is very, very hard. I want you to know this. I want you to know this, that all the things that we've ever accomplished and then the individual accomplishments, none of it for me would have been possible without you. None of them. We can leave it.
I could say the same thing.
That's because we love each other.
I could say the same
for
thing.
each other.
No
we
doubt.
In it.
No doubt.
That's why we family.
Appreciate you, bro.
I said, bro. Love you too, bro.
That's how we
That's how we talk.
That's how we roll around here.